Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. So far, we've done some basic modifications to our Focus RS, including a MagnaFlow exhaust system and a TurboSmart blow-off valve. The next ideal step on this car as far as modification goes is a custom tune. We've had excellent results with COBB's Accessport tuner on previous EcoBoost vehicles, so today we're going to install the Accessport on our 2016 Focus RS. The COBB Accessport tuner is going to be one of the best ways to truly unlock the performance potential of your Focus RS. It features quick and easy ECU flashing with multiple maps built in, along with onboard gauges, diagnostics, and performance monitors as well. The kit includes the Accessport itself with a case, a changeable faceplate, a mount for your dash, a cable for downloading additional maps, and a cable for connecting to your car. Before we get into installing the Accessport on our RS and hooking it up and showing you everything it's capable of doing, we have a couple questions that we know you're going to ask. The first one, what kind of power does it make? We actually don't have a dyno, so we can't actually dyno the car, but what we can do is give you COBB's rated power changes, which given cars in the past we have been able to dyno are usually spot on. With a stage 1 91 octane tune, they're showing a peak gain of 3% in horsepower and 5% torque, with maximum gains in the curve of 11% and 11%. With a 93 tune, you're looking at 5% horsepower peak and 7% torque, and then max gains of 13% horsepower and 13% torque. In the curve, you're going to see a lot more power across the band. It's going to make the car feel a lot quicker. Second question we know you're going to ask, will this void my warranty? What I always say with this, check with your dealer. Go back to where you bought the car, tell them what you're looking to do, and see if they're going to void your warranty or not. We can't guarantee anything with it. Obviously, you are flashing the car. Simply flashing it should not void your warranty. But again, we always suggest check with your dealer to make sure. First thing we're going to do is plug in the Accessport. To do that, this little cover here says OBD2 on it. You simply pull on this, drop it down, and plug it in. Now take the other end of the cable, we're going to plug it into the bottom of our Accessport, and it'll turn on. You know you have the correct one because you'll see the RS pop right up on the screen. The first screen just tells you what the buttons do. Basically, you have up, down, your OK or select button, and then a cancel. I'm going to continue by hitting the center button. When you first install your Accessport, you only have two options. Basically, install it to the vehicle and troubleshooting. You can actually use this on other vehicles if you want to run DTC codes and get a check engine light, basically diagnose it and shut it off. We're not worried about that for right now. What we're going to do though is install the Accessport to our RS. To do that, click on select. Now what it's saying here, cannot communicate because I forgot to turn the car on. What you want to do is just hit the start button but don't start it. Now what it's telling you here is just make sure you do have the correct vehicle, a USDM Focus RS, correct. Hit continue. Basically what it's giving now, there are several different tunes available. You have an anti-theft mode, which is basically just a safety tune. Stage 0, which again is basically just a factory stock tune. There's no benefit really there. The ones you're going to want to use are going to be the stage 1 tunes. Now currently, stage 1 is the only thing available. Eventually there will be additional maps though that'll offer stage 2 and stage 3 for further modifications. Stage 1 is going to be for your stock RS or very basic modifications such as a catback like we're currently running. Here you want to choose what fuel you have access to. In our case, stage 1 93 we're going to go with because we do have 93 octane fuel here in Pennsylvania. Here's going to tell you a battery charger is recommended because it does take a little bit of time. If you have a low battery, it can lock up in the middle of the tune. We know ours is good, so we can continue. Okay, now what it's going to do first is take the original factory tune and download it and save it. This doesn't take too long. Your dash is going to go haywire. You're going to hear buzzes and beepers and lights and all kinds of crazy stuff going. Don't worry about it, perfectly normal. While this is downloading, I should mention when you first install your Accessport to your RS, this will take the longest amount of time. This is probably a 20-minute roughly install to do it. After this though, once it's installed, when you go to upload a new tune or change a tune, it's going to be much, much faster. Now once it reaches 100%, now what it's going to do is it's going to reflash our computer with our new Accessport tune. You'll find this part will go a little faster than the initial download. Okay, now it's resetting everything. Again, light's going to go off. You're going to hear all kinds of crazy noises. This is the screen you want to see. Installation successful. Now at this point, you hit the stop button. Shut everything off and wait about 15 seconds like it says. Basically let the car shut down. That's what you want to do here. Once your screen and everything goes off, now we can clutch in and start our car. Okay, now you'll notice we have a lot more stuff on the screen than we did initially. You have gauges, here's your performance parameters. Again, we still have our check engine light. Here's where you can actually change the tunes and adjust for different maps. And if you ever got rid of the car, here's how you uninstall it. First thing we'll do is we'll go through the gauges. And what you'll see, these are basically your display options. You can have one large gauge, a couple gauges, all the way up to 6 different gauges displayed on the screen. Now basically, depending how you want to use it or what you want to monitor, you can choose what you're going to go with. First, I'm going to go with the 3 gauge setup. And this is basically what the screen's going to look like. You have 3 different things I'm monitoring here, and you get the numbers, and you also get a bar graph. Now what you want to do here though is go through it, and you want to change monitor by clicking on it. And then here is all the things you can check, and there is a ton of different things. You can make that one actual AFR. Our second one will change the monitor. And again, I said you've got tons and tons of different options here. Boost is always fun. Coolant temperature, desired stuff, and we can go with the basic one. We'll go with engine RPM. And built in along with this right here, you see these 5 dots. It's actually a programmable shift light. Again, also built into this. So if you mount on your dash, not only can you log all these different things, see all these different things, you have a shift light built in as well. Now here, if you want to actually log, hit OK there. What it's doing now is actually going to start logging these things. So if you want to record a run, record a test pass, if you're doing a custom tune, have to get some logs to your tuner, this is where you're going to do that. Again, like I said, when you go into this thing as far as setup goes, change monitor, anything that the OBD2 can read, you can actually log. So you've got tons and tons of stuff in here. If you are going for a custom map on your COBB, whoever your tuner is, it's going to tell you what on here to monitor. But like, again, you've got tons and tons of different options. Below the gauges, you have performance. And what this is, you actually can do a 0 to 60 and do a quarter mile with the COBB tuner. We'll go into 0 to 60 first. Again, it's warning you, you don't want to do this on a public road. Try to find someplace safe if you're going to do this. And then basically what it's telling me to do now is go to wherever it is, and as soon as I start accelerating, it's going to start recording. And I'll do the same thing for the quarter mile. To begin it, you basically go to a still place, and as soon as you start accelerating, you don't have to worry about hitting a button or anything, it'll start recording. And the next step down, said, is your troubleshooting. This is where your check engine lights are going to be. You have here, you can go in here, you can basically read the memory, find out what tune is in it, what's going on with your computer. Here's where you're going to be able to read your codes if you do get one, and here's where you would clear them out. Then the final thing is your actual tune page. This is where you can go in, you can change maps, you can go with your original maps. It'll show you what map is currently on the car. If you did get a custom map again from an aftermarket tuner and you're downloading it to this via the Accessport Manager, this is where you would go to change to a different tune. You can see the COBB is without a doubt, in my opinion, one of the easiest tuners to use. The full color screen is absolutely fantastic, and like I said, this will do a great job of tuning your RS. Well, we don't have a dyno to do a before and after test. Given our experience with the Accessport on the Focus ST and the EcoBoost Mustang, I would expect the gains advertised by COBB for the RS to be very accurate, if not a little bit on the conservative side. Plus, you have access to the Accessport Manager, where you can download future maps and custom tunes as well. If you're looking for some more power and more control for your Focus RS, make sure you check out the COBB Accessport.